So like I said, we are gonna, not too much is new, so we're gonna really tackle this next week. And again, please type in any specific questions you want us to address next week, because again, as we talked about, a lot of this is not mandatory right now. It's recommendations or suggestions, and which is also going to be driven by what practices are occurring. So just to remind everyone about the mask, the CDC updated their guidance and not making it mandatory, but recommended that when there's a high or substantial community transmission, both fully vaccinated and non-vaccinated wear masks indoors. You've seen that become the standard in Philadelphia. I think a lot of the school districts are using that same standard, is my understanding. So there's not been a complete guidance from either the state, county, or CDC, but my understanding is a lot of school districts are following that, the higher substantial community transmission standards, which can be found on both, I think, the CDC site as well as PA Department of Health. So that's where that is. There is movement in both directions. Some people saying we're still not doing masking, and people move in a different direction. So if you are in Philadelphia, that is a mandatory requirement. But we will talk about that more next week, and again, try to maybe do a poll from everybody, see what you're all doing and kind of what's going on there. The other big area is the requirement around vaccination. So we've talked about carrot and stick over the last couple of weeks. Now that we have a fully approved drug in the Pfizer drug, you saw some immediate, the U.S. Department of the military is making it mandatory, as are some state and governments. So, I think there's going to be more support for making it mandatory, but we will talk about that in more detail next week. And again, we're hoping to make that interactive, kind of engage with what you're all saying. So very dynamic space. That's why we think it's great next week, just to kind of see where everything is. What we say now is different than it was in May, and I'm sure what we're going to say in October, which is really why we've continued these town halls, to give everyone an opportunity to kind of learn and share and kind of see how we're interpreting information. So Laura, I see your note about the FDA approval. That's kind of what we're going to really delve into next week in terms of not only risk requirements, but also kind of, is it going to be a deterrent or promoter of your business? So a lot of these questions are going to relate to what kind of workforce do you have? Who are you looking to hire? Or is this a tech job? Is it something we've done virtually? Is it located in the city? Do I need to have a workforce that could make it to work, or can I have a broader geography? So it'll be a good discussion next week. Hope you can join us for that interactive part of this. And I think this is just reminding everyone what the CDC updated on COVID testing. So again, the CDC is revising recommendation. If you've had that direct contact exposure, whether you're fully vaccinated or not, you should get tested, because it seems to be there's more transmissibility with people that are vaccinated. They're recommending it 3 to 5 days after exposure. And then also they're recommending that if you have been exposed, you're fully vaccinated, that you wear a mask indoors in public for 14 days or until you receive a negative test, again, in that 3 to 5 time frame. And if you are fully vaccinated and test positive, recommending you isolate 10 days after receiving a positive test result. And again, a lot of people also do another test after that time period as a further confirmation. A lot of these requirements about further testing, I think, are for the comfort of both the employer as well as fellow employees. So I'm just trying to see if there's any other questions come in. In terms of FFCRA, I have not heard anything yet about that being updated. We'll make sure that's one of the questions we address next week. So I think that's it. So thank you for joining us today. Matt, thank you again. It was a great session, and we look forward to speaking with you again next week. And again, members, if you have further conversations coming out of this, feel free to give a call to us and talk about your specific questions. Take care, everyone. Have a good week.